We stay in Parliament because the ranking member on the Education Committee, Clement Apaak, says his constituents have warned him not to set a foot in the constituency if he votes in support of the approval of the 2022 budget. According to him, his constituents have asked him to remain in Accra if he in any way supports the obnoxious taxes in the 2022 budget. The Bulsa South NP argues that in spite of the enormous resources injected into the education sector, the current administration has little to show for contributing to the budget debate in the House. Clement Apaak insisted the minority will not in any way support the approval of the budget.
And let's be honest and blunt and truthful. Any serious and objective mind who has followed and monitored the evolution of our country's education since the MPP took over the reins of this country would come to the conclusion that today our educational system can be described as a caricature. Mr. Speaker, I say so because my able ranking member has already elucidated and demonstrated how basic education has suffered and continues to suffer. Mr. Speaker, the suffering is not only confined to basic education, but even tertiary education is also facing similar neglect. Mr. Speaker, a lot of attention and resources have gone towards the implementation and sustenance of the free senior high school. But even there, with the quantum of resources applied, we are still bedeviled with the challenges that we want our colleagues on the other side to pay heed to and to address, to which they refused. 5 years down the line, Charles, NAGRA, Africa Education Watch, almost every stakeholder, besides government and its appointees, agree that it is not well with our educational system and particularly secondary education. Mr. Speaker, by and large, this debate has been reduced to taxes and whether or not we should support the 1.75 e-levy. Our side has been very clear, and we are not going to budge. It is not going to matter the level of intimidation, coercion, or even enticements. We will reject this budget. We cannot vote for this budget. Because this is not a budget that gives Ghanaians hope. As a member of Parliament for Bulsa South, my constituents have told me that should I make the mistake of voting in favor of this budget, I should remain in Accra. And I would not remain in Accra. They sent me here to work on their behalf. Their instructions are very clear.
But in a sharp rebuttal, the Education Minister, Dr. Yao Educhum, noted the individuals opposed to the budget have little appreciation of the policy document, insisting the budget inspires hope.
All that I want Ghanaians to know, that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has a vision second to none in terms of education. As I said on the floor of the Parliament, I've heard some colleagues of mine talking about this budget belongs in the dustbin. But I believe this budget will belong to the National Education Hall of Fame when one day we build it. The name Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will be etched in gold in the National Education Hall of Fame the day that we build it. And so will the name Ken Ofori-Atta, the Honorable Minister, be etched in gold the day that we build our National Education Hall of Fame, because this is laying a strong foundation for the Ghanaian economy to be competitive. We talk about 5 STEM universities, 5 STEM universities, so that all those new regions without universities will also claim a university. And when I hear some colleagues talking about their constituents have told them never to vote for this budget, and if they vote, they should stay in Accra, my response is that maybe you have not read the budget to your constituents. And if you have read it with them, they will rather tell you stay in Accra until the budget is approved, because our hopes and our future is in this budget. This budget is going to take Ghana to a new level where we can compete with the rest of the world.